یک ساعت من میخوام این رو بگیرم، این زبونه من نمیچرخه یا داد و بیداد میاد، اصلا عجیب و غریب شده. مردم من یک ساعت اینجا، هی دارم میگم هلو گل هیچی در نمیاد، هی سر و صدا میاد یا هی زبون من نمیچرخه. همین الان هلو گایز، چطور این بچه ها؟ خوش اومدیم به یه ویدیو دیگه. این بار اومدیم با پارت سوم داستان هایی واقعی ترسناک و اینکه چون خیلی این ویدیو رو دوست داشتین من تصمیم گرفتم پارت سوم این ویدیو رو بذارم. پس اگه این ویدیو رو دوستش حتما این ویدیو رو لایک کنید، کانال منو سابسکرایب کنید، زنگوله بغلش هم بزنید تا از ویدیوهای جدید من مطلع بشین. پس بدون معطلی let's play.
I was the only one who spoke to her. One day she messaged me an article about cat abuse, knowing
چرا باید رفیقش براش مقاله گفته بود؟ کنم مقاله گربه آزاری بفرسته با اینکه میدونسته این گربه داره. داستان جالب شد.
that I had a cat. I replied to her, saying, "Wow, that's literally insane." She then started pretending she was close to me and continued
چی؟ نفهمیدم. جان مادر دقیق بیاقب.
insane. She then started pretending she was close to me and continued to send articles about cat abuse or pictures of dead, such as road-killed cats. Feeling uncomfortable, I slowly began to avoid her, and one day I suddenly felt like she took a picture of me. While she left her seat, I decided to
قیافه تو به قیافه صمیمی می‌خواستی بشی نزدیک میشه همیشه تو با این حرف می‌زدی. خب گاو بودی
like she took a picture of me. While she left her seat, I decided to secretly check her cell phone. Surprisingly, the phone was not locked, so I could easily enter her photo gallery. And then, what I saw was horribly shocking. There were over 80 photos of me that I didn't even know she took. I got goosebumps when I saw the folder's name. It had my name. And there was one more folder, Cat, which contained pictures of dead bodies and the several articles that my friend had sent me. This story is about my friend's sister. The friend's family was living in a large apartment complex. One day his sister went out, and this incident happened at that moment.
راستی نظرم راجع به واقعی قبلی نظر عجیب بود که انگار خب چه ترسناکی نداشت نسبت به واقعی پارت یکمون. تیکه دومش واقعش هنوز حالم بد میشه، یادش میافتم اصلا حالم بد میشه.
Her ex-boyfriend, who was waiting for her, hit her on the head with a piece of sidewalk block and just killed her. The security ran towards them.
کشورشو میبنده با کلا اینجوری هر کی شاپسی که میذاره تو سر اون یکی کلشون اینجوری ان. همش هم رجوع بدی هست. حالا زیاد حرف نزن، بری ویدیو.
Them in surprise, but he ran away, went up to the roof of another apartment complex and killed himself on the spot. After that,
خودشو در جا کشت. مشکلش اونو زد کشت که خودشو کشت.
there were two memorial altars set up for both the woman and the man, and ironically, they were located right next to each other.
چه خنده داره.
And meanwhile, the bereaved family of the man insisted on this. They told my friend's family,
چی گفتن؟
let's join their souls in marriage.
بیاین با ازدواجشون روحشون رو پیوند بزنیم. چی این شکلی؟
My friend's parents panicked, so they eventually fought with the bereaved family of the man, cursing at them. He told me later that everyone in the memorial altar went crazy that day. One of my teachers told us about a dream she had. Let's join their souls in marriage. So they eventually fought with the bereaved family that everyone in the memorial altar went crazy that day. One of my teachers told us about a dream she had. She had a dream about 3 or 4 years after her grandfather passed away. In her dream, it was raining hard, and her grandfather, who completely got wet, tried to pass his socks to my teacher. Even though she loved him very much, she kept refusing because she didn't want to receive them for some reason. Then suddenly, the view abruptly changed, and my teacher was in the car. She was driving through a very big tunnel. At some point, she started dozing off, pressed on the brake, and then woke up. She thought it was just a strange dream at first. Another day, she was driving in a car with her husband. She usually doesn't sleep when she's in the car, but she started dozing off in the front passenger seat on that day. When she woke up, she found that the place they were passing through was the same big tunnel she saw in her dream, and her husband was falling asleep next to her as well. Being startled, she immediately woke her husband up, and they returned home safely. She suddenly remembered her dream, so she visited an expert to get any advice on dream interpretation.
متخصص این که معلومه رماله. متخصص محسوب نمیشه این چیزی که با این قیافه‌ای که داره رو این منطقه‌ای که قرار رو متخصص خواب نیستین. اینو رمال تکرار کن رمال متخصص رو داخل اینترنت سرچ کنن. ایرانی‌ها چیکار میکنن؟ میگن متخصص. ایرانی‌ها خیلی بخیل‌ترن، پول خرج نمیکنن. میرن تو اینترنت یه دقیقه سرچ می‌کنی، میزنی معنی خوابی که مثلا در واقعیت انگار دیجاوو شده باشه.
And the story goes like this. When you receive an item from a person who passed away, then you will die. Anyway, my teacher soon forgot about it for several years, until 7 years had passed. That day was the day they were going to change the place of her grave.
جای قبر رو مگه عوض میکنن؟
grandfather's grave, and the moment when they opened his coffin, they could see his wet body was floating in water. The strange thing was that the flesh had not yet
مسیحی هم با لباس ختم چی میکنن؟ تو تابوت میذارن میندازنشون داخل قبر. چه کاری در بیاری؟ ایرانی کفن.
rotted. She could see that the body had a bit of volume. She ended up thinking that her grandfather, who had been standing in the rain in a dream, might have wanted her to know of his current condition. However, this wasn't the only surprise. It turned out that it wasn't only her. Other relatives had the same dream.
خیلی مسخره بود. بعد به جای واقعی ترسو میذاشیم واقعی عجیب. هیچی نفهمیدم از این. اولیه که چی بود؟ چندشاور بود مثل اون. دومیه که فکر کنم راجبه چی بود؟ عروسیه بود. اون کس مسخره بود. این یکی هم که چی بود؟ دیگه از کشت بعد گفت خانواده دیوونه بودن. میگم که کلا خانوادگی دیسی میزدن. صدایی که شنیدم.
This isn't a scary story. But I've been the clumsy type ever since I was a child, so accidents used to happen a lot. And once I almost died. I was the girl who really loved animals, so without thinking, I walked onto a road where cars were moving crazy fast. I didn't put much thought into the things I did when I was a child. However, as soon as I stepped in, I heard several voices coming from behind me. Watch out! Surprised.
Yes, فامیلای اسپایدرمنه. Watch out! یه دفعه تلقیم میشده به اسپایدرمن. حسش عنکبوتی داره.
I fell backward and fortunately wasn't on the road. But when I looked back, there was no one behind me. My big brother was there, and with a tearful voice he said, "Hey, what if you got hurt? You shouldn't let go of my..."
خب تو چرا حواست نبود چرا حواست نبود وقتی دستتو ول کرد؟ درست
Hand. My brother came out of the store and ran towards me right away. So that must mean that my brother was the only one who called out to me at that moment. However, I then heard dozens of people calling out to me, yelling, "Watch out."
یه دقیقه من این تیکه واچ اوت یه بار دیگه ریپلای کنم.
Voices coming from behind me. Watch out!
واو خیلی مسخره بود. خیلی مزخرف بود این قسمت. 4 تا اپیزود بود ولی هر 4 تا اپیزودش خیلی مزخرف بود. نمیدونم چرا ولی خیلی مسخره بود. مهم بود که خیلی مسخره بود. بله. خیلی ممنون که این ویدیو رو تماشا کردید. اگه این ویدیو رو دوست داشتین حتما این ویدیو رو لایک کنید، کانال منم سابسکرایب کنید، زنگوله بغلش هم بزنید. اگه می‌خواستین زودتر پارت‌های بعدش رو بذارم حتما تو کامنت ها بنویسید. کامنت انگلیسی هم بذارید صاباتون نریزه. پس تا ویدیوهای بعدی پیس.